Bonjour guys, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to do a problem on Centroid. Now this problem was created by Pranita, so if you guys like this video, please give us a big thumbs up so that we make more videos like this in the future. And then also don't forget to subscribe and make sure you hit the bell so you get notified each time we post new videos where we share with you guys tips on how you can prepare for your FE exam. Now let's get right into it. Oh yeah, everybody now. Okay guys, now before we start tackling this problem, I do have some exciting announcements, so make sure that you guys stay tuned until the end. Okay, so here we are giving this shape and we want to find the centroid of the area about the y and the x-axis. So when you are giving a centroid problem, the first thing you gotta do is check for symmetry, because if you have symmetry, that means the centroid is just going to be half of the distance and then you're done. Okay, so always check for symmetry. So how do you check for symmetry? Well, you cut to either the y or the x-axis and then you see if the shape mirrors itself. Okay, so for example, if we cut to the y, whatever we have in the bottom is the same at the top. That means we have symmetry. Okay, now in the case where we don't have symmetry, that's when you have to use the equation. So if we go to the reference manual, if you type in centroid, it will take you here, and then here you are giving the equation. Okay, so this is the equation we're going to use for the centroid. X, that's the centroid distance. Okay, you can grab this distance from the table. I'm going to show you guys the table in a little bit. Then you multiply by the area of each shape, and then you divide the whole thing by the total area. Okay, now when you're doing the areas, just make sure you guys, if you have a shape inside another shape, you always subtract. Okay, keep that in mind. Now let's go to the table. So the table is at the end of statics. So here you have the table, you have the shapes, and then you can get the centroid distance, the XC and YC from here. Another thing you guys need to keep in mind is that when you're trying to determine XC, make sure that always reference to the origin. So if the shape is not at the origin, right? For example, here we have the circle that is not at the origin. When you're trying to find XC, make sure that you reference it to the origin by adding the distance, okay? So keep that in mind. Now, with that information, why don't you guys give this problem a try, because it's very important that you guys attempt the problems so that you are ready for your exam. So give it a try and I will see you in a little bit. Now, if you guys are interested on finding the moment of inertia for this problem, let us know in the comments below and we'll post a video on that as well, okay? So now let's go back to this problem and let's first start with the centroid about the y-axis. So here, we actually do have symmetry about the y. So if I cut to here, right, whatever we have here is equal to what we have here. So we have symmetry. So YC is just going to be half of this distance, which is going to be 3.5 inches. Now, you can use the centroid equation that I showed you guys earlier for YC, and you should still get 3.5. And in fact, I do recommend that you guys use the equation just so you get practice, right? So you can practice on how we use that equation and check your answer. You already know that it should be 3.5 inches. Okay, now let's go to XC, and first let me write the equation. Now here we have two shapes, right? So what we're going to do here is we're going to do the area times the centroid distance for the rectangle, and then we're going to do minus, remember guys, because here we have a shape inside another shape. So we're going to do minus the area times the centroid for the circle. Okay, now the centroid distance for the circle, we gotta make sure that we reference it back to the origin, because this circle is not on the origin, it's 3 inches away from the origin. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now let's start first with the rectangle. So the area is just going to be 7 times 11, right? Because here we have 3.5 plus 3.5, that gives us 7 times 11, and then times x. Well, xn is just going to be the centroid for the rectangle in the x direction, which is just going to be half of 11, right? Which is 5.5. Now we're going to do minus. Now we have the area for the circle. So here we have the diameter. So if we're going to use pi r squared, we got to make sure that we use the radius, which is going to be 2 inches, right? So you just take the diameter divided by 2. So we're going to have pi r squared. And then we're going to multiply it by x. So x is going to be this. So we're going to have 3 inch plus the centroid for the circle, okay? So the centroid of the circle is just the radius, right? It's just going to be this distance from here to the center of the circle, and this distance is going to be 2 inches, right? Now, as I mentioned, this circle is not on the origin, so we have to reference it back to the datum. So we gotta do 2 inch and then add 3 inches to it, and so that's going to give us 5 inches because we're trying to find the centroid for the whole shape, right? Not just for the circle or the rectangle. So if this is not on the origin, we have to add this distance to it, okay? And so that's all we have here, and then we're going to divide by the area. Now, the area is just going to be 7 times 11. This is the area for the rectangle. And then we're going to do, again, minus. If you guys have minus here, make sure you do that here as well, okay? Don't forget that. And then minus the area for the circle, which is going to be pi r squared. Now, if you guys plug in these numbers in your calculator, you're going to get 5.6 inches, okay? And so this is going to be the centroid above the x-axis. Now, if we take a look at the multiple choice, the answer is going to be B. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I also have some announcements about the afternoon course, which is currently on sale, and the sale is going to end on May 3rd. So make sure that you guys check it out before the sale ends. It is helping a lot of students pass the FE exam. Now, if you guys like this video, please give us a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe for new videos every week. Thank you guys for watching. Good luck with your studying, and I will see you soon. À la prochaine. Oh yeah, everybody now.